And we are live. You can catch us on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Kick, and that's all of them. On Rumble. My bad, guys. Please like and subscribe, and we will be right back with you, Howlers. We'll be right back. Howls over Baaz. I'm Jacob Casas.
I'm Melanie.
And we have a special guest here today. We're bringing back, this episode is called Post Kaiser Strike. But I'm going to have you introduce yourself to our audience, let them know a little bit about who you are, and then the union that you're involved in, because we did have another section of the union for Kaiser that was in here. So if you can just kind of give that our audience a little bit of perspective on that.
Sure. My name's Johanna Noriega. I'm one of the nurses that works out of Fontana Kaiser, and I'm heavily involved with our union locally and at the bigger table, but it's UNACUHCP. It's United Nurses Association of California and United Healthcare Workers, and our healthcare providers. And we represent 31,000 members across Southern California, Northern California, Hawaii, Colorado, and we're growing. I am currently an active steward, but I'm also with the union, but I'm also the president emeritus of our local affiliate nurses union. So I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you. So why don't you give us a little rundown what's going on? So it's post Kaiser strike. I know there are certain things you won't be able to say, which is fine. We might still try to get it out of you. No, I'm just playing. But I know there's certain things you won't be able to say. But whatever you can talk about, like what's going on, well, first off, can you give a breakdown of what was the difference of the last union that was on, just for the viewers from the union that's on right now?
Sure. So the last brothers and sisters that were on were from United Steelworkers, 7600 union, which represents the ancillary staff, some of our surgical techs. They are 8,000 strong in the IE, and we all belong to the Alliance of Healthcare Unions. So that consists of 22 different unions, and I may be wrong. They might be 23 now, but across the continuum. So we stand united. And so when we went on strike, so did USW. So that's them. And how we differ is our union represents all the other healthcare workers. The
active, essential workers, kind of more involved with direct patient care, correct?
Yeah, so UNAC actually represents, because we're growing, so we have a new list. We started off as a nurses union about 52 years ago, and it was actually out of Fontana.
The hood.
Right? So we started out of Fontana, and we have grown since, and we started representing NPs, PAs, which are our mid-levels, our nurse practitioners, our physician's assistants, and we have been growing since then. We have now secured our nurse anesthetist.
From what I've heard so far is nothing's been done. So what's going on with your side of the union right now?
Okay, so each union has, or each entity has their bargaining opportunity. So they have contracts that are specific to theirs. So the largest one is what we refer to as Blue Book, but it's nurses, NPs, PAs, those mid-level providers. And so we sit at the table and we do bargaining right now. We were on a 4-year contract that expired September 30th. And then we also do national bargaining, and that's where the alliance unions come together and we bargain. And that's what you're hearing a lot of. And that's probably what USW is talking about, which is the wage increases, things like that.
Staffing.
Shortage.
Mm-hmm.
So we are making some strides We have some tentative agreements when it comes to local bargaining, but we were at a standstill when it came to some of the national bargaining, and we didn't want to go on strike. That wasn't like we didn't want to pull that lever, but unfortunately, that's what the employer forced our hand to do. So our very qualified union leaders brought it to us, and we had an overwhelming vote of yes, let's, a strike vote. And with UNACUHCP, we were 97% in agreement for that strike vote.
Wow, that's a strong vote.
And so we haven't had to strike as our unions in almost 50 years.
Wow.
And so it was really disheartening and a very heavy decision for us to have to, take that plunge and pull
kind
that
of
lever.
Put your foot down too.
Yeah. And, as nurses, it's a hard thing to say we're not going to take care of our patients.
Yeah.
And like even seeing that now, it gives me chills and like my heart breaks because we show up. We show up every day for our patients. Nursing is truly a calling. I've been a nurse for, oh goodness, now I'm going to show my age. Let me think. 20 plus years. And and it has
with Kaiser too, or just in general?
Kaiser since 2009.
Oh, okay.
So you do the math.
Still a good amount of time. I'm not good with numbers. We'll take
all
care
of a
it.
sudden women ain't good with numbers. Just like they don't want to show their
Anyway.
You want my
I
girl
just
math?
like-
You want my
I
girl
just
math?
like-
Because I'm
Right.
good with girl math.
It's different. It's all different. Well, that's good. That's a long time.
So the fact that we had to actually pull that lever, it was a very, very hard decision and not taken lightly from our alliance leadership, our UNACUHCP leadership. But, I'm so proud of our union. I'm so proud of the Alliance Brotherhood, Sisterhood, because we showed up.
Yeah.
And really, when I walked the lines and I listened to them, it was, we are doing this for our patients. We are doing this for the community. And contrary to what's out there, like we're not doing it because we're greedy. We're not doing it because we want the money.
Yeah.
It's always going to be a topic of negotiations just because the economy adjusts. But first and foremost, it becomes our patients and the security that we need and the support we need to do what we need to do and provide the best care.
Well, I think it's good. I mean, the thing is a lot of businesses that companies people work for, they can't always get raises or the raises they want, but you have a union to back you, and then at the same time, everybody strikes. They need you guys in that field. So I think it's good that you're able to fight and say, give us what we want, especially when they're trying to take things away from you. I'm not 100% sure on everything, but I did hear that they're trying to take away your benefits after you retire, right?
So there are some takeaways that they're trying to put on the table, and it's almost as a retaliatory measure or effort because our brothers and sisters unionized up in the north, so Northern California, our midwives and our CRNAs, they're trying to now decrease their pay. So you made X amount of dollars, but now you're unionized, so
That's
now
crazy.
we're going to pay you less to do the same job with less. We don't want to provide you the retirement. We don't want to provide you certain benefits that you're entitled to or that other entities are getting that do the same work and the same job with the same company.
Yeah.
And so it's really unfortunate that that's what they're trying to do. You have a company who is well known and who is now well respected, but you're now persecuting the people who give you that
and all their time and invested in the company to do our jobs, and that's it's heartening, like you said. It's disappointing kind of as a company and as a union member to kind of have that battle with someone that we've spent a lot of our lives with 20 years. I've been with Kaiser for 19 years. So I'm part of the USW union. So it's just like it's sad, and it kind of, you don't want to have to look in another direction, but it kind of forces you to, in a sense, you know, and it's saddening.
And and we don't,
because we all got to make a living, you know, but we want to do our job too, and we don't want to have the pressure of having the full workload of doing it when you're not paying us enough or giving us the right amount of staff to do our job right, you know.
So and I totally agree, and that's actually something we brought to Greg Adams just a couple years ago at our Alliance conference with him, and we pressured him like, hey, Mr. Adams, are you going to bargain in good faith? Because our last negotiations were nearly as contentious, and we got to that point. It was called off the night, like the 11th hour.
I remember that one. That was the first time. Well, this strike was the first strike I've ever had with Kaiser. So last time it was in negotiations, it came down to the wire, and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Like, you know, I was in a different position then, even now, but still, it's like, you know, concerning, you know, like what's going to happen and what's going on. You know, it's just unfamiliar territory, and you don't want to lose your job, but you also want to fight for what's right. So,
so I think that's the key, is that we have to do what's right. And like, as a nurse and, you know, healthcare providers, like, our integrity is everything. Like, you could call me every name in the book. You could tell me I'm fat, ugly, whatever I smell, but do not challenge my integrity, because I uphold it so high. And so for like us to be accused of being money hungry, or how did that doctor put it, parasites, like, that's really unfortunate, because like, we show up for our patients.
Hold on, what happened? Some doctors called you guys parasites? I don't even know this one. What happened? Let me hear this.
So it was
call them out.
It was in a chat, or like a group text. It was like
Telegram?
in a group text and something of the sort, and there happened to be a nurse in it, and basically it was talking about how like a parasite kills its host, or something to that effect.
Well, because they're getting paid all kinds of money, they don't have to deal with that.
They don't have to worry about it.
Well, you know, there are some really great doctors, because they are, you know, partners and what have you, and we work with phenomenal doctors, and I have such great relationships with them, and it was really disheartening to see that like some other doctor that my brothers and sisters work side by side with, referencing them that way, and that was sad.
That just shows you what they really think of you.
Right. And
that's
so
cold.
Like, you know.
So Eric Burnt says Kaiser's wildin'.
Literally.
Give him that. Oh, speaking of that chat, so we have a lot of people watching us on Facebook right now, and we have a lot of people watching us on YouTube. So if you guys have any questions, Facebook or YouTube, I mean, Rumble, doesn't matter where it's at. I'm keeping looking at everything. You guys can put it in the chat, and we can ask her, or you can ask her any questions directly, and then we'll read the chat, and we can go from there. So any questions, put it in the chat, and we can talk.
So apart from that, like, you know, as a nurse, like, that's my first and foremost. But on the flip side, I also have higher education, and it was with the intent of climbing the corporate ladder. And so I have a double master's in business administration and healthcare administration. So that part of the business, like, I could comprehend. And there are certain things, I get it. Like, we can't spend money on X, Y, and Z. But when a company has $67 billion in reserve and, you know, they are fighting tooth and nail for another 3.5%, like,
they're making a ton of money. Like, It's like,
and
come on.
We're talking about 22.
They can lose members. I don't know. Don't know the statistics of the members that have dropped, you know, on a monthly basis because of inflation, and it's not just due to the strike or anything, but they can lose so many members, but they're just making that up still. They make it up so many other ways, and they're a big company. It's not some mom and pop shop. You know what I mean? Like,
So I had the opportunity of telling Mr. Adams before when he came to visit Fontana that there is no them without us. And I want that to be super clear. Because we're the ones that our hands are getting dirty. We're the ones that are at the bedside. We're the ones doing the, you know, damage control. And we're the ones that are are there.
Yeah.
And the suits are not there. And so what I tell people is like, I really want to put it into perspective because my thousandaire brain cannot fully understand $67 billion in reserves.
Yeah.
So I put it in like the thousand language. Mr. Adams makes $7,700 an hour. I don't make $7,700 an hour.
Yeah.
And so when you put it like that, it's like, wow, these execs are making money. And it's not only about the money, but that's what Kaiser is making it about. We need for them to come to the table and do what's right. So we have the staffing. So we have what we need instead of scrounging for staffing and worrying about if everybody's going to be able to get their breaks. Why should a nurse work 12-hour shifts and not have time to go pee?
Yeah,
or not have
crazy.
time to eat breakfast? Or lunch? or
that's
lunch,
insane.
or or not have the ancillary staff to help turn the patients and help these patients get the appropriate care. It's stuff like that that's missed. And that's what we're asking for. We're asking to live up to the language that we sustained or that we secured in our last agreement and hire the people. Just for example, we have positions that they vacated and they still have not filled them.
Yeah.
Why? Because finance is saying, well,
we don't need to fill it. We don't need to
gotta
fill
wait.
it. Yeah.
These are
What do they say they're waiting for?
it's the budget.
When they have all that money, but it's a budget?
Yeah, but these are union positions.
Yeah.
Like this is bargain positions.
I
Give
want
us
to
our
say
positions.
there was like 4 women in my department that are union positions as well, but they kind of made them, I don't know if it was like forced retirement or like they kind of pushed them towards that early retirement phase, and it's just like, yeah, so that was happening and they didn't fill those positions either. You know, and it's like, yeah, we have a lot of people in our department, but that doesn't make up for, the people that have left. That's still another person, another body that was helping do the job that we all were doing.
Right.
And it's like, you're not feeling it. So here we are doing double work and not having all the resources we need. So it's.
Yeah, and I know I focus a lot on the inpatient side because that's obviously where I've worked my whole career. But as an officer and when I was in that role, listening to the members and what they're talking about, like the demand that's being placed on them, like we have mid-level providers like PAs and MPs who are being forced to see exorbitant amount of patients in such a short while. So then they're not providing the care that these patients expect. The patients are getting upset because their wait times are so long, but yet the backlog is so long to get these patients in. So then they end up waiting their, hour to see the providers. And so that's the other conversation that is at the table. Like we need to have some staffing language around what can be scheduled for these mid-level providers. Like they can't be expected to see double the amount of what the physicians are seeing because we're short on physicians. Like that's unfair to them too, and more importantly, it's unfair to the patient. Like why should you have to go into the doctor, be rushed through and not even be seen for what you need to be seen for?
Yeah.
Because we don't have the staff to do it, that's unfortunate too.
So what's happening right now? Like, where are you guys at?
So, well, before I go to where we're at, why we went to the strike line. So those were the reasons why. So we went to the strike line. We were there for 5 days. And unfortunately, they brought in, I'm going to say it like it is. They brought in scab workers, bus loads of people. They magically found the staff that they needed. And it was 7,000 plus people that came in to do the jobs of 30 plus thousand workers. And they paid them crazy amounts. So they
all of a sudden they have the budget.
They have the budget. So they paid them crazy amounts to do subpar work. And then apart from that, after the strike was done, they offered them a bonus, rumor has it. So that's the communication that we were getting. So they all got an extra $1,200. So smack in our face, right?
That's crazy.
That's wild.
But the people who did cross the line, they didn't get that money.
No.
So,
No.
they had to work for their level pay and not get the extra money, and that was unfortunate. So Kaiser still at the local level, they were not coming to the table, but at the bargaining at the national level, they did come, but it was without change. They are still offering the same wages. As a matter of fact, on my way over here today, we got an email from Kaiser saying we're offering you a let me see, what does it say? Let me read it verbatim.
I like that. Right here live on Howls over Baaz.
Wild.
We deeply respect the work you do and the care you provide every day. We believe this proposal reflects our high regard for your work and for the care you provide every day. We hope you'll take a moment to explore the estimator and consider the impact this offer could have for you and your colleagues. Then we ask you to speak with your union representatives and urge them to accept the strong offer. So they provided us like a little worksheet that says this is how much you'll miss out, and this is how much, like, it's not about the money though. It is to some degree, but they're making it about the money, and it's about more, and that's not showing us respect.
That's just disappointing. Very disappointing.
We got more people in the chat. Can you read the chat?
Yeah.
So and shout out the name. Always.
We have Gabriel Villalobos in the chat. Says, "Hey Joanna, that's my girl." Gabriel. Thanks for chatting and watching, guys. Bobby Villalobos also, nurses are the backbone. Get it, Johanna? Sorry. Gabriel also says Mila is watching too. She loves seeing you stand up for what you believe in. That's right. Mila, is that
that's my son's bestie. That's their daughter.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Barbara Rios, Johanna, stay strong. Thank you guys for putting comments in the chat. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in there too. We'll be taking a look at the chat on Facebook and then YouTube Live.
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah. So what do you guys, in a perfect world, what would you guys get? Like, what would you want?
We would, so on a national level, we would want them to honor the staffing concern around the mid-levels. So that's about how many patients, put some staffing language into what the mid-levels are able to see and some parameters. Let that be a standard agreement versus it being just a management call locally. The second thing we would want is we have what's called a performance sharing program. It talks about, so through our performance sharing program, we work on projects throughout the year on our unit-based teams that include management and labor working together to find ways to save the company money. And we're in the millions. We save $70+ million, each year. And so we do projects, we find ways that we could improve these opportunities, and it has like different criteria that we have to meet. But there's some disparity in what we meet, and so they're trying to find a way to level that out to where all the regions, because, we have several regions through Kaiser's, and there's disparity in how that performance sharing program gets paid out. So some may meet their goals or some may not meet their goals because they're either too small or they were too high of an unattainable financial gateway. So they are causing certain people or certain areas to get maybe 800 while other areas are getting 2,500 bonuses each year. So at a national level, they're trying to discuss how we make it an even playing field. If we're doing the work, then let's make sure that it's distributed evenly. So that's a discussion that needs to happen at the table too. The other part of it is, there was one other, obviously our raises are across the board, the ATBs. We want to be what's comparable, because at our last bargaining in 2021, we didn't get what was comparable to inflation, because we were bargaining prior to inflation and then we settled And so rather than coming out of COVID and then putting our patients through a strike and through all that, we kind of just stepped back and said, okay, we'll take what you're giving us. But it's a matter of like coming back and bargaining in good faith.
Yeah.
Show up and listen to what it is that we're asking for and bring us comparable.
Yeah.
And so that would be ideal. The other concern was about aligning our contracts. We want to align our contracts across the different unions. There are certain unions that can't bargain with us, or their contract ends at a different time. So it would be nice for us to all be able to sit together at the table and have those contracts aligned. And then the last one would probably be the one of the bigger ones. I think it's in our local contract, especially during this time, is the no cancellation. So the hospital setting has a no cancellation clause in the contract for UNACUHCP. That does not apply to the clinics. So we would like that to be the same.
What does that mean, no cancellation? Like for
so if your census is low or they don't need you, they cannot cancel you. Like you're guaranteed to work your shifts. So just because they don't need you, they can't just say, oh, we don't need you today. Or they confirm you and then they end up not needing you. They can't cancel you last minute. So
like an on-caller kind of shift.
So we would like for that to be explored and accepted for the clinic setting. We have so many times where people need to get training done, but they're never given time. So use that opportunity.
Do you think that you guys would be going on strike again?
I can't say. I mean, again, that's the $1 million question that I get asked probably every day. And I'm not in a position to make that call. We don't want to. Like, that's the thing. Nobody wants to go on strike. Let me tell you, 5 days of being on that strike line was way harder than being the charge nurse in the OR. I was coming home wiped out. Yeah. But, I really hope we don't have to. I'm hopeful that the employer is going to do what's right. And if we need to, I stand with my union. I mean, I will do what I need to do in order to get what is fair and to get the best contract.
Is there a time frame that you guys are giving them until, let's say, they don't come to an agreement and then it comes down to that? God forbid, but, is there
probably going to come down to that.
Is there a certain time frame that you guys have or you have in place?
Well, so the key is to always come to the table as long as we're bargaining in good faith. So right now the employer is willing to, we've set dates. So there are dates for national and local bargaining throughout, I think the third week of November. But it's not unreasonable for us to continue to have those conversations. But if that doesn't continue to happen, then the plans may have to be readjusted. But again, that's going to be at the leadership level, and we'll just have to support that call when it comes. So
we had somebody jump in the chat. You want to read that?
Alan Gongora, the 10.40% contract wage increase is completely overwhelmed by the 21.46 U.S. inflation. CPIU from 2021 to 2024, leaving good faith workers over 11 percentage points behind the true cost of living. Yeah. Thanks for representing us, Johanna. That's from Alan Gongora. Thank you for putting that in the chat. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's true. And that's basically what we were talking about in our last negotiations. We kind of were left behind. And when our other unions bargained with the coalition, they went on strike, I think it was 3 days 2 years ago, and then came back to the table and eventually got what it was that they were asking for. And there is national language that speaks about like bringing us comparable to whatever unions get. And when that was taken to the employer, they said, you're basically, no, your negotiations are coming up, put it in there, you know.
Mm.
So now we're here,
Yeah.
and
You guys are probably gonna, it sounds like you're going to strike again.
well,
That's what it sounds like.
again,
I don't work for
we're
Kaiser, so I
not
can say
hoping
it.
that, especially during the holidays. It's the hardest time to like have no work, no pay. You know what I mean? But
you know what? But when you put it into perspective,
Yeah.
like, again, disclaimer, I really, 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 really hope we don't have to. Like,
Yeah.
I really don't want to. But I will go and do whatever I need to do. And if that means forgoing the holidays or forgoing
mhm.
the dinners out or whatever I
Yeah.
need to adjust
Yeah.
for that fair contract, I'm
Mhm.
going to do it.
long term.
Yeah. And so I know I'm pretty loud. I know I'm pretty vocal and hard headed. And I'm going to do what I need to do. And I
Yeah.
know there are a lot of people that side with what I do or what I say. And we all feel that same way.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like 3.5% in the way the employer puts it out. Like, this is really good for you. And you don't know. But
Like trying to convince you to settle again, and it's
Yeah.
like at this point we're done settling.
yeah, but and that's what I tell people. We need to win and not settle, because it's not only about the money. And that's the narrative that seems to be in the media, is that we are greedy and we just want the money.
Mhm.
I'm not settling for 21.5% because I went out on there for 5 days. But more importantly, I'm not settling for the contract you're giving me, and you're not
Yeah.
going to give me staffing, and you're not going to invest in those things.
Yeah.
Because when I come to work, I work good.
Mhm.
I'm a good worker. I'm productive. I make sure that I lead that way. And if you want me to continue doing that,
Yeah.
then support me, you know, and show me that you really respect what
I
we
mean,
do.
I mean, you guys all went to school for this and stuff. I mean, come on, like you guys, a lot of the to get in Kaiser is hard enough, anyways.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I mean, come on, not anybody can get in Kaiser. These guys need to pay.
Yeah, well, you know, again, it used to be the best place to work, best place to receive care, and, you know, keep it that way.
Yeah.
Don't make us like everybody else in the community, you know? And if you're going to take those things and you're going to keep taking stuff away,
Mhm.
then that's going to be a problem. Eventually, we're going to lose the ones that matter, which are our patients.
How do you feel? Do you like, just feeling wise? You guys both work for Kaiser, so like, do you feel that they will honor that and give it to you, or you think that this is going to be a fight?
Oh, it's already been a fight, but
Yeah, but even more so now, because do you think a lot of people, they're going to lose a lot of people? Like, where do you guys see this going?
It's just sad
Good
for me.
question.
Like I feel like from hearing about what they did with the temporary workers or the fill-ins, you know, seeing it, because I had an appointment during the strike, and you know, I had to go check in, and you know, building 1 in Fontana, the urgent care, there was 2 people there, and I was like side-eyeing them, and then I accidentally went to the 3rd floor, which was not the floor I was supposed to be on, and it was completely empty, and that's the OB reception desk, and no one was there, and I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. But it's just like hearing that now today about what they're providing them and what they're paying them and all that stuff, it's just disheartening as an employee for a company I've committed to for so long. You know, I have great work ethics, I have a great rapport, you know what I mean? I don't get in trouble, you know what I mean? I do my job. But it just brings the whole morale down as far as being an employee for them. You know, it kind of is like a slap in the face, like, oh, I can replace you with someone and they'll do it for whatever, you know, and it's sad.
yeah. So I think for me, I guess personality-wise, I'm a fighter. I'm gonna fight for what's right. And so, yeah, you see those, so my brother actually had an appointment during the strike, and he told me about his experience, and he's like, honestly, sis, like, I miss you guys. Like, you guys need to come back, you know? And I was like, yeah. And he supports it, you know? He's like, you guys need to come back. And it's that kind of care that patients do recognize that they miss. But here's the other thing. The disrespect that we're receiving on the other end is so disheartening when you commit to the employer. And last weekend, there was a Make-A-Wish, what is it called? A Make-A-Wish sponsored event, a Thrive walk run thing out in San Diego. and it was Kaiser sponsored along with AMN. And AMN is the company who hired all the temporary work stoppage
No.
units, workers. And that was so disheartening because
Wow.
you partnered with them versus partnering with unions that
Yeah.
represent.
Damn, what do you think then? Do you think they're
That's
going to try to
crazy.
do you think they're going to try to just get rid of a bunch of people and just start hiring those people?
And
Well,
not
they
e-
really can't because it's up to the union workers to decide whether we want to be unionized or not. And we're already unionized, so they can't just wipe us out. And that's a big misconception is that people
Yeah.
are saying, oh, they're going to get rid of union workers. Well,
They
That was
can't.
That's
my
really-
next thought. Like, what
Yeah.
happens if it comes down to that? I mean, now knowing
No.
that's crazy.
Then they're screwed. They got to do what they got to
yeah,
do.
they really can't do that. And that's like disheartening, you know. And so this,
Well, a question though. Let's say you guys are like, we're going on strike, and this is what it is, and you're on strike for like a month now, and they just keep using these people. Like, what? How would that work? When are they able to stop using those fill-ins?
so there is no time frame. But
Damn.
here's the thing. Here's the thing.
that's wild.
Oh, we have a we have a Facebook message.
Okay.
Go ahead and put that in the middle again because we can't see it
Yeah,
because the
it's kind
curtain
of cut off.
the curtain's covering it. Can you put right there? Go ahead.
Natalie Montano, respect our work and our professions, Kaiser. We are fighting for our right to provide appropriate care for ourselves, our families, and most importantly, the communities we serve. Let's go, Joe.
Sorry, what's their name?
I think that's the only one.
Okay. No,
It
what's
just says to see more on the same one.
okay. Okay, sounds good. Thank you for
The
that.
Montano and Getler family love you.
So, yeah.
So there's no time frame that they
No.
can hire those people. So what
Thank you.
what would stop them from just keep doing that?
Because you can't provide. So as a business, so then now my brain's going to shift. So as a business, you really can't sustain because it's not one location. Think about the impact that will have on a business. So there are 32,000 of UNACUHCP members throughout Southern California, Hawaii, Northern California, Colorado, and Oregon. So you lose all those, and then you have USW and some of the other unions. You can't sustain a business that way. Eventually, you'll lose patients. Eventually, you can't do
You're
surgeries.
going to be losing more
Yeah.
than.
You can't do surgeries. You have to cancel appointments. There's a lot of impact on the company, right? So that's not a good business. Can't really speak for the employer, but what it comes down to. So with that run, you know, our union was out there to support the runners, but to also let them know. And our union made a contribution to Make-A-Wish. Like, they're like, we're not trying to be hostile, but that really is how the employer's playing us. Like, that we're
Yeah.
violent, that we're like the unions from the 70s, you know, who
Oh my
like,
gosh.
and it's funny because even when we walked out on the first day of the strike, they were like, oh, we're going to escort you. I was like, I'm not being fired. I'm like, I'm going to walk out on my own. Like,
Yeah,
they were trying to
Bruh.
walk us out. Yeah.
That's
You know what? What do you have to say about all that? Like, I think you should clear up the air on a lot of that stuff right now. I know you kind of were, but I think you should just look at the camera and clear the air on that because it does sound like they're trying to make you guys like an enemy, like a villain. So what's the deal? Why don't you
What
explain
camera
that?
do I look
That
at?
one right there.
Okay. I'm actually really disheartened as a Kaiser employee that Kaiser would treat us as if we're like criminals, for one, as if we don't put our members first, as if being an employee is not something we uphold to the highest regard. And also, it's really sad that the people at the negotiating table, the Kaiser representatives, have put our frontline managers in a position of awkwardness and is disrupting what is our labor management partnership that we're supposed to be working together, and they're causing a significant divide. And I don't know how we're going to rebuild when this is all said and done, because believe me, we will have a contract and it will be said and done. But I'm just really sad and disheartened about that. So
And I think it'd be good if you even clear up how you guys are striking because they're trying to say you're violent and all this stuff.
yeah.
Explain that, like how you guys are striking and everything.
So contrary to what they thought, like, you know, we didn't we didn't go out there violent. We didn't go out with crowbars or eggs or forks or pitchforks or we didn't do any of that. We went out there with signs,
a
DJ, Halloween costumes, funny puns. You know, we made a bad situation into into a good one. It was a sacrifice on everyone's part. However, we did what we had to do. We showed up, and honestly, the takeaway I got, because I got to say, in my 40-plus-year-old body, I was running up and down Valley Boulevard, and I had the megaphone, and nothing hurt for 5 days. It's hurting now still, but one thing I heard was this was such an experience. It brought us closer. It gave us a little bit more patience with our colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
We respected
patience, no pun intended.
We respected each other on a different level. There was more unity.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bad situation that we appreciated in the end.
Yeah.
And it made us more cohesive. So it actually had the opposite effect of what I think Kaiser thought it would have.
Yeah, and you know, I did have like some coworkers in my department that were hesitant when the strike did come. They were like, "Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might just go on leave and stress, this and that." They're like kind of on the fence whether they're gonna walk the line or they're gonna, you know, cross the line. So after having USW on and brought awareness, you know, for them, I think I got messages from my coworkers, and they're like, "Thank you for that. Like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to strike." And it's just like, so like, thank you for coming on, and, you know, Joel and Michael Barnett for the, you know, representing USW, you know, because awareness is important. You know, a lot of people have different perspectives and understandings on what is actually happening because they're not fully involved in it. But those of you that are, and we're bringing you on because we have a platform to speak on it. Like, it's just bettering the whole community and letting everyone know what's going on more in depth. That way they can feel a little bit more at ease if it does come down to another strike. So.
True. Yeah, and I agree 100%. And, you know, the best experience on that strike line was when our patients would drive by after their appointments and drop off, like, treats or food. One lady drove by and dropped off In-N-Out. Like, it was just such an awesome experience to have the community out there supporting us. We had, like, coffee places come and, like, donate, you know, cold brews. And
that's awesome.
It was just such a, like, warm experience to know that the community backs us.
Yeah.
And so we actually, UNACUHCP has a campaign going now to where we're asking the community, share with us how you support us. Share with us, like, your experience and how it you're supporting UNAC and, like, the workers, you know. And so that's a great opportunity. I mean, because yes, I'm an employee, but this past year I've had to be on the receiving end. And as great as the doctors were that we dealt with, and we ended up at another facility too, and it was a great experience, it was that front line who took care of us. Until this day, when I walk in the hospital, there's, you know, the ancillary staff, there's the nurses. Hey, how is everything going? Hey, can we do anything for you? They're the ones that remember. And that was awesome. You know, they're the ones that made the change in my life during an experience I never thought I would need. And so it's always like, just wait until you're on the receiving end. And unfortunately, we were, but I'm so proud of the staff and the care they provide. So in order for us to continue to be able to do that, we need to get the support that we're asking for from the employer.
Yeah, and I think even just hearing how, like, the community kind of just provided, you know, complimentary coffee or, you know, little desserts or things like that to get you through the day. Like, I think that just speaks volumes in itself too, because it's like not just us, the patients know, they see it, you know, and some people get it, so they, you know, they're showing their support and you know, helping too. So I mean, I think for in a company like that, like Kaiser, to hear that, I would like kind of step back and look at things in a different perspective, you know, to kind of regather everything and see what's really deserving.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, look, Kaiser, you have the community backing them up.
Yeah.
They're coming by and they're bringing them coffee, food, all that kind of stuff, donating. I think that's great. I mean, Kaiser, they're messing up. They really are messing up. But I feel like, I don't know, the way they're doing it, it seems like they're going to take this pretty far.
Yeah, you know, one of my colleagues, she's the clinic president for our nurses union, Monica Fernandez. Shout out to Monica. She reminded me when I was doing some interviews on the strike line, you know, there was a time Kaiser, and I hate to put it out there, but there was a time Kaiser was referred to as Killer Kaiser.
Oh, yeah.
And they
remember that.
Yeah, and they didn't provide the best care. And they weren't the best place to work for or the best place to, you know, receive care. And it wasn't until the partnership became alive and kicking that we were able to help them and turn it around to where they get to be so proud of hanging that sign over their building, best place to receive care, you know, best place to work. And so we take some pride in that, and we want to keep it that way, but it can't be contentious like this and expect us to sustain that reputation. It's just going to go back, and we don't want history to repeat itself like that.
And we don't want to go backwards either, you know.
No.
Dang.
That's wild. What would you say if you were in front of Kaiser right now? What would you say to them?
Well, like I said, I've been in front of Mr. Adams a couple times, and again, I'm not quiet or shy, but it's very much do what's right. Do right by the people who represent you, and do right by the people who make you, because without us, there is no you. And we're the ones that provide the care and deal with everyday situations. So you need to just make sure that we're taken care of.
And what would you say to the patients that don't really know what's going on, not really educated in it, and don't understand that, you know, why this is happening?
So I'm going to put the caveat out there. I would never initiate the conversation around the union talk with the patient. However, in the event that they initiated the conversation, it would be, we're doing it for you. We're doing this for you because I want to be able to take it back to how, when I was a new nurse, how I could sit in your room and hold your hand and pray with you when you asked, and shave your beard and put lotion on you. I want to do that kind of nursing that I was taught, because our nurses now can't do that. Remember during COVID what we had to go through. Remember the amount of bodies we had to bag. Remember when we were heroes? Like, nobody knew that. I remember walking the ICU with our president emeritus of UNACUHCP, Denise Duncan. She was awesome, like, in her role. But we were walking, and it was also our now VP, Peter Sidhu, and we were walking through the ICU and just seeing the burnout on these nurses' faces and seeing the hopelessness. And it was just so heart-wrenching. And we saw something we never thought we would see. And so we were so respected and so appreciated. And then just 4 years later, for us to be treated the way we're being treated, like, what happened?
Yeah.
You know, it's a 180, and it's disappointing.
People forget so fast.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, because when the world shut down, our world spiraled. Yeah, it spiraled into something. We have people in the OR who never worked on the floor, and they had to get sent to the floor as helping hands, and they suffer from PTSD from the amount of bodies that they had to bag. Like,
damn,
that is heart-wrenching. And
That's
so
traumatizing.
It is. And so my heart breaks for them. And now we're here. And so I would tell my patients that we are standing up to the employer to do the right thing, so that way we can care for you and provide the best care.
You guys definitely earned your money. You guys need to get what you guys are asking for. They shouldn't even be fighting you back like this. really. You guys were putting in mad work during all that time, and the only ones really working, you know, and not just working, going through what you guys had to go through.
Yeah.
You guys really deserve that money, and you guys deserve, I mean, your benefits. You deserved all of that stuff.
I appreciate
I mean,
that.
yeah, you guys need to fight. Just keep fighting, because they can't do anything about it. Their whole company can go down. They know it too now. Because that's what I was thinking of. My main thing was, okay, how can they can just keep bringing those people in, but you said it'll start going down. Everything will start going down.
Yeah.
That might would be what they want to do too. Who knows?
Yeah, so I do want to put it out there just so people understand the quality of, like I said, I'm just going to say it, scabs that they brought in. So there's a Facebook, it's an open Facebook site for the strike workers. And, you know, it was sad because they were talking about how they had to, like, cheat the drug test and having to, like...
And these are the people that Kaiser's allowing to work for
That's
them.
My
cold.
sentiments, exactly. Like,
Patience, you need to pay
Like,
attention to this right
We
here.
had to pass a whole background check,
Yeah.
a vaccine
Yeah.
check.
But think about that. Think about these people are working on your body. This is not a car that can break down. They're working on your body. Surgeries, whatever they're doing to you.
yeah.
And you're going to allow these people to work on you, and they're passing background tests. They could be under the influence. You don't even know.
But
That's cold-hearted that Kaiser's even doing that.
Yeah.
They
so
allowed
that's-
it. They allowed
so
it.
if we're able to see this, so are they. And so it was disheartening because, like, I'm on a couple of WhatsApp groups, and we were sharing this, and we're like, wow, you know, you become mama bear.
Yeah.
Mama papa bear is like, wait a minute. But at the same time, it was like, well, you know what? We gave Kaiser the 10-day notice. They need to get those patients to the right facilities so that way they don't have to be taken care of by these subpar, you know, people. And so that was disheartening. But I just can't believe, it was shame on Kaiser for letting that
Hell
happen.
yeah. And you know what?
Kaiser.
Like things like
That's
this, that's why I'm glad
crazy.
we have this platform, because
Yeah.
we could say what we want on here.
Yeah.
There's no one stopping us, censoring us. You guys can say whatever you want. This needs to be seen. You got to share this with your union. Like, have them push this out, because this is crazy, man. Like, I can't believe that's a bullshit
Yeah.
that they even did that. That's crazy.
So that's the stuff that we don't want to happen. So that's why it needs to be more of a push for us to stand up to the employer and then come to the table.
And patience,
And,
you guys should be helping them out. I really think somehow, like, striking with them, something, because I mean, think about it. These people are working on your body. That's not like something to take lightly. Like, they're not working on a car that's going to break down. They're working on your body. So I mean, that's crazy to me. I don't think that's right at all. And then Kaiser's putting all this money into hiring them and bringing them on and letting
temporary workers just
and when they could have been paying them.
Yeah.
It's like the way that these people are is just crazy, dude.
Yep.
They're wilding for that, for sure. Like the first comment Eric Bird said,
I feel like it's
Kaiser's
just
wilding.
they're just getting half-ass treatment, you know, so to speak. But you know, it's just sad. It's sad all around. Gabriel also commented, "Wow, that's a very powerful reminder to think of all of you frontline workers had to go through during COVID."
Yeah, that is. That's a good reminder, because I mean, it really is quick.
It
They're
was a
quick to
really
forget.
dark time, you know, really
Yeah.
dark time.
Oh, yeah.
And now they're treating you like you guys are just nothing.
Yeah,
Escorting me out the building.
That's crazy. They do not care.
Yeah, that's wild. They don't.
It's so great that you have your union to back you up, though. It is so great that you guys
it's
have
awesome.
that.
Yeah.
A lot of companies don't get that.
Yeah.
So you guys are able to have a union back you up, and at some point they're going to have no choice but to make a change. They have to. They can't just they're not going to let their company fall. And by you explaining that company will fall if they just keep doing that. So at some point you guys you guys are able to stand your ground, and you guys can make it happen.
We definitely have the strength. I agree. And I would never want to see that company. Like, I mean, it's my company. I take pride in it too. You know, I work there.
They won't let it go. They need that. They
course
want that
not.
money.
We've come too far, and that's what's so disappointing is we can't let it go for the business aspect of it. Like, it needs to be, healthcare needs to, I know it's a business, but at the same token, our patients are the priority. Doing the right thing is a priority.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
They won't let it go. That's a lot of money for them.
I'm gonna record that, and they won't let it go.
They won't let it go.
What would you say to like other union members and Kaiser employees that are going through the strike, what would what kind of motivational speech would you give them?
I just want to remind everyone that our solidarity is our strength. We need to continue to be unified and remember that as a whole, we need to stand up for what we deserve, what we're owed, and not just financially, but what we deserve and what we owe to do our jobs, to provide the care that the community deserves. Yeah. And so I think that's the key, because we're the ones on the line. We're the ones that the patients see day in and day out. We're the ones that calm the nerves, so we need to continue to stand up. We need to continue to show the employer that we're going to do what it takes to win that fair contract. And, we have a tagline is "Together we rise." And that's the only way we're going to get through it. Yep. Because let me tell you, if we don't do it today, tomorrow's contract is going to be another takeaway and another takeaway. So if you can't hurdle this one, you better be ready for the next, whirlwind. Yeah. So.
Definitely agree. And I feel like, there's power and strength in numbers. So the stronger and the more of us that stand together, I feel like we'll be heard a lot more, even better on a deeper level, hopefully. So I hope. We got to stick together, guys.
That's my baby sister.
Jillian Aguilar. Thank you. Thank you guys for chatting with us.
Is there any last words? Anything you want to say? Anything you want to say?
Any updates or anything coming up?
There's national bargaining. Reach out, UNACUHCP members. You can go online, sign up for the national bargaining attendance. Same with a USW. I'm sure there's opportunity for you guys to show up. The more we're out there, the more the employer realizes that we're invested. Continue to be strong. And above all, we got this. Lean on your faith. I'm a woman of faith, so I'm going to, throw all my burden on God and let him handle it and clear the way, because he knows what we deserve and he knows how to clear the path. So he has us. So I'll continue to lift us up in prayer, and let's stay united. Yeah.
What's your quote again? What is the quote? United.
Oh, together. Together we rise.
Together we rise.
I was thinking what you were saying. they ain't gonna let it go.
We'll go together. So we'll even.
They ain't gonna let it go. That's a new one. You're gonna add that to your list.
What did I say? They're not gonna let it go, huh?
They ain't gonna let it go.
They ain't gonna let it go.
You gotta say it with the twang, like Kendrick Lamar. They ain't gonna let it go.
So we'll. Our slogan is "Shed the Sheep," but we're gonna end this with your guys' slogan. I like that.
Together we rise.
So we're gonna look at that camera right there, and on 3, we're gonna say "Together we rise." 1, 2, 3.
Together we rise.
So I want to thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys.
And we had a lot of people watching. We have a lot of people in the chat. So please like and subscribe. And if you guys want more of this, we'll be bringing more of them on. We want to go through this with you guys while this is going on. So, and then I feel like it's great that we can give you guys a platform for you guys to speak on and hear what's going on, what's really going on, than what they're telling you, all these lies. So we can tell you the truth over here on Howls Over Baaz podcast. Real. Yeah. Keep it real. And we're local. We're in the IE. So, yeah, we got the ears of the IE, the eyes and ears of the IE. So let's keep this rolling. We want to ride this wave with you guys. And, please like and subscribe. And Howls Over Baaz. I'm Jacob Casas.
This is Melanie.
Johanna. Thank you, guys.
We appreciate you guys for watching, and we are out. Peace.
Bye.